going on, Fish 365? Yeah, we live, baby. Yeah, I always forget to turn my dang ringtones off when I go live. Well, that was from the Hunger Games. Some black ones. Lake Wiley. I had to look outside to see if the wind was blowing. Ah. Yeah, that's probably the best bet. I did a little fishing yesterday. Fish don't want to cooperate. Yeah, the marina docks be holding them this time of year. But finding them ain't too bad. Getting them to bite. I thought about going at night. See what I can do. I ain't never had no luck at night though. Yeah, I've got a couple green lights. I mean, I've tried. I think last year I went twice. And I can get a bunch of bait under the boat. But, I don't know, I ain't caught a daggone crappie yet. At night. I'd be going to the wrong areas or something. Because I'd be trying to fish like it's daytime and go to brush piles into a bridge or something. I don't know where them jokers be. I have no idea. The Crappie man gave me my light. He probably got it at Walmart or something. I'm sure they got them on Amazon. You're probably right. That's just a new day and age. I guess back in the day, you get those catalogs, and that's where you order from. Now we just get on our phones and get whatever we want. Set up just off brush pile, the fish move off right at dark. Yeah, that's probably my problem. Because whenever I'd go, I would get right on top of the brush pile or something like that. And I don't know. I need to go try it again. Be better than trying to go out there in this dang heat. Back in my 20s, I could stay out there all dang day long in this heat. I can't do it no more. About 11, 12, I'm done. I say that like I'm old. I'm old enough. Yeah, the light shouldn't be too expensive. Yeah, you're right, John. It's currently, I got the air conditioner going, 2 fans going, and it's, let's see, $87 in the shop, which is a lot cooler than when I'm shooting plastic. It's like 100 in there when I'm doing plastic. So if y'all wondering why your order takes about a week, I can only be out here for so dang long. Is what it is. Yeah, there ain't much that helps you out there. I bought an umbrella for my boat at Walmart, and I couldn't get the dang thing to work. The little mount they gave you kept falling over. Because I figure, you know, you can get under a bridge and you'd be all right. If I could get up under that umbrella, I'd be all right, but I don't know. Like the old saying goes, the heat don't get you, it's the humidity. Which is true, because, I mean, I'm fine with the heat, but I ain't fine with all the sweat. Yeah, that little sticker's real good for brim. Yeah, let me turn my ringer off. Yeah, we had one day, probably about 2 years ago, my buddy was throwing the little stinker on a dang beetle spin. And it was like November. And man, he started smoking them. I got a video on it. They were like real shallow for some reason. We probably caught, I don't know, 500 fish in a couple days off that one little bank throwing shallow. Oh yeah, that beetle spin is real good in the spawn. My biggest issue with the spawn is I like fishing for the females, but the males are the ones that a lot of people tend to catch because they're real aggressive up shallow. Which I guess if I don't get another Livescope by the spawn, I'm gonna be up there popping the cork like everybody else. Instead of out there hunting those single 2-pounders. But that'll be alright. What's going on, Cleveland? Trying to paint up me some jig heads like you be using. Get out here and test these things, so see if I want to sell them or not. These are very time consuming. I'll make some chartreuse ones. Look, I be digging through the bottom of my boat all the time. It ain't no shame. That's a chartreuse one. Well, a green, I guess. It ain't as bright as Crappie Man green. But yeah, I mean, daggum, I make all these jigs and I still be digging through the floor for a color sometimes. No, we don't make any sense. I honestly, like, I have a love-hate relationship with scent. I had this gel one time that I don't know if it worked or not, but if I ever got to where I couldn't catch a fish, I would put it on it and they would bite, but I don't know if I made the correct presentation or the scent worked. That's my only issue with scent is, did you make the right cast? Did you put the jig the way that fish wanted you to bite it? Or did the scent make it bite it? I don't know. So I've always been kind of like iffy on it. Especially like them crappy nibbles, because those things are annoying to put on to begin with. But like a spray or something, I don't see no harm in it. I do got some of those fireballs, but they aggravating to put on too. I know a lot of other YouTubers, they use that thump gel. I thought about trying it, but I ain't got around to it. But if you've ever like ordered a big pack of jigs from me, I don't put scent on it, but I do put stuff on it to make sure the tail doesn't get all curled up in the packaging. And it's a thing, it absorbs into the jig, so I don't know if it makes a difference, but a fresh jig sometimes gets a good bite sometimes. Yeah, that's what I said. I got those little balls all over my boat. And they smell like corn, so I don't understand. Like, we ain't fishing for trout. Yeah, I used to have this little tube. It was a shad scent, but it was black and it had like sparkles in it. Now, I did believe in that one. If I couldn't get on a bite, I'd put some of that on it. No idea what it was called, though. I thought about ordering it. It's really not expensive. I think it's what, like, I don't know, under $10 for a tube or something like that. It might be a little bit more. I mean, in my opinion, anything that can help you get a bite, why not? Like these jig I'm painting, like, for my entire life, I fished with just regular lead. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've caught fish on painted jig heads, but I haven't exclusively used painted jig heads. So I do want to make a video where I fish with nothing but painted jig heads, just to see if it makes a difference. But selling them wise, I would have to sell them in batches because I ain't got time to be doing all this. I seen a jig head, you push the crappie bits into the head like Play-Doh mold. Yeah, I've seen that one too. I mean, it's got a bunch of good reviews. I wish I could figure out how to make those vibrating jig heads. But I don't know if that's patented or not. Probably is. But I know they sell them like, you get like 3 for $5, which is insane. And I'm sure it's just something you put in a mold when you shoot the jig head or something. I don't know. They dropped the lake last year to, dang, how far did they drop it? They're supposed to drop it again this year. I think they went down 10 feet last year, which is the lowest they've done in, I think, 6 or 7 years. But we honestly found them in a big marina that is normally in like 40 to 50 foot of water. But what happened was, like, the marina had, you know, boat slips. I mean, just thousands of boat slips. And they're on a floating dock. Well, not really a floating dock. The poles are so tall in that water that the dock was way up here and you could get up under it like a bridge. And dude, they were stacked under that thing. We caught so many fish out of there, but when they let the water down, you really just want to look for somewhere that was deeper and then just come out from it. But yeah, like big marinas and stuff, really good if they're still got like 20 feet of water. I don't know what your home lake is, but where I'm from, 20 feet of water is about normal. But it honestly bunches them up a lot better, in my opinion. Because they ain't got nowhere to go. You say you're doing dock repairs, so they're going to drop it like 5 to 10 feet. So every brush or whatever they're hanging out on that's in 5 to 10 feet, they're going to back away from it and go to the next thing. Yeah, so most of your fish are probably, what, 10 to 15 feet right now? So those fish, they're going to follow the fall pattern, which are going to hit the creeks. And that water is going to drop while they're in that fall pattern. And what's going to happen is they're going to push back out. And they'll be like where your points and your eddies and everything is if you have a river system. And then I would look out from those, like at the mouths of creeks and stuff. That's where I would start, because they'll set up in that winter time and they're not going to be able to go sit on that brush pile that was in 10 feet of water. So if you have a brush in, say, 20 feet of water right now, or a dock that's in a good 20 feet, those will probably be really good once it drops. I mean, hypothetical. It's fishing. They could be anywhere. But what a lot of people don't understand, they'll leave comments like, yeah, I caught them 2 inches from the bottom, or I caught them this way, I caught them this way. I'm telling you what they're supposed to be doing, but I mean, a fish got a brain. It's going to do whatever the heck he wants to do. I mean, last year the lake got really muddy when the water was down. I pulled up on this dock stretch. There wasn't a single fish under the docks. But every 10 feet or so was a dang 1.5 to 2 pounder. Hey, Cleveland with the 10 bucks. Says, I'm about to go fry some crappie caught with your jigs. I appreciate your work. Hey, man, I appreciate the continued support. You've been a member for a long time. And anytime I come out with some crazy color, you're one of the first ones to order it. So I can't thank you enough for probably the amount of gas that you would put in that boat of mine, or the truck of mine. And he also makes videos, so everybody watching, if you go check him out, he be using my jigs, catching them on Lake Greenwood. Oh! That goblin's going to be a really good color. A lot of people sleeping on it. And I don't get me wrong, I probably sold about 500 of them, but a lot of people sleeping on it. Check out this jig head I tried to make. Hold up. Before I started live stream, I was trying to make a goblin jig head. It's got like a black top, green middle, and a black back. I'll make me a couple of those. I don't know how companies mass produce these daggone painted jig heads though. Golly. One at a time. They probably got some machine that does everything though. Whoop. Oh. Yeah, I've been looking at the extended forecast. I think about making a video about that. Like, if you can find when the first week of like 60-degree nights is, or even 65 to 70-degree nights, like if you wait like 3 days after that, they should just wake up. Because I'm sure it's the same way for you. You're finding just an ass of fish everywhere, but they don't want to bite. As I went with my father-in-law yesterday, we did a little bass fishing, caught a couple little bass, nothing big, and we pulled up on this bridge, and I mean they were just big globs on. Like he's got active target. They were just big globs, and I dropped the jig right in their face, and they just sitting there. They don't want nothing. Which is alright to me, because I mean honestly, you've got to buy so much ice and all of that this time of year to keep the meat from being too dang soft. Next Saturday is supposed to hit 99. Yeah. It has been hot. It's not too bad today. Still ain't good. I definitely like it more when it's cold though. I can put on stuff to make myself warm. I don't care how naked you get out there, you still gonna be hot. Yeah, that's true. I think we got more pontoon boats on Lake Murray than we do jet skis, though. And I mean, most of them don't bother me, but there's always like 2 or 3 in a whole fishing day that's going to do something stupid. Like, hey, I'm fishing this brush pile. Well, let me run all over this point right beside you when you've got a whole lake behind me to get by. But that's part of the game, I guess. They start biting on Greenwood, you need to let me know. My truck will make it to Greenwood now. I get in your boat with your big old screen. Yeah, that's somewhere I need to go more. I've been there one time, and that was bass fishing. And the wind was blowing like 20 miles an hour. Oh. That must have been a while ago, dude. I want to join them dang little monthly tournaments they have out of that one place on Greenwood. I forget the name. Some bait and tackle shop. Now that I got a truck that'll take me there, now I just gotta get my Livescope back, and then I probably will. I mean, I ain't going out there fish tournament with 2D. I don't care how good I am. Cause that's just crazy. Yeah, that place. Fish on, bait and tackle. They were supposed to buy some of our jigs to put in there, but then they just stopped contacting us. I do all that and I drop it. I probably got $100 worth of Jigheads on the floor. I sweep like once a month. Do. Alright. Yeah, he was supposed to come down fishing with Dad. And I don't know, I think he got busy or something. This was probably like last year. Or it might have been the year before, I don't know. I had a store in Iowa or Idaho. Do you think a fluorocarbon leader would increase bite versus straight braid? It depends on how clear your water is. But, well, okay, it depends on two things. How clear your water is or if you're live scoping. If you're live scoping, it honestly don't matter because your bait should be above that fish and he should never see your line. But if you're casting the brush piles and stuff, I mean, a fluorocarbon or a mono would probably increase your bites, yeah. But like I said, if you're using forward sonar, that fish should never see your line to begin with. Like what, move the store? I know that store is like an hour drive for me. That's why I always put in over at the state park or where the train trestle is. I mean, the state park's like right next to Buzzard's Roof. And that's probably like 40 minutes from here. Used to fish there a lot when I was younger. Off the bank. Yeah, that's the main reason I stopped going, man. Like I get it, like when the stripers are biting, there's a bunch of people there, that's fine. There's a bunch of fishermen, but it got to the point where there's a bunch of people just bringing in a bunch of trash and no respect for anybody. A bunch of drugs and stuff. That's why I stopped going. I used to love going up there when the striper would bite and fishing the rapids and stuff. Or get back towards the dam and you catch the bass and stuff back there. Or, I mean, I've caught crappie off the rocks right there on the left side. But people are people and they will ruin about everything. Yeah, I think the last time I went, there was like 3 or 4 homeless people like sleeping under the bridge. And that's normally where I like to fish, was right there at the bridge. You take some herring or something and throw out on the bottom. Swimming in the water. Jesus. Yeah, I was saying, like, if the striper wasn't running, the bridge was the go-to spot. I mean, it's hot. You get up under the bridge, stay cool. Put you out one line to the left, one line to the right. I mean, you catch striper, catfish, gar. It's all good. Oh, guys, well, my phone's about to die, and I got to put all these jig heads in the oven. Appreciate y'all watching live.